Look at the camera in your hands. If you honestly believe composition is about standing where it is convenient, turning on your viewfinder grid lines, and waiting for a smile, you have already lost. Most amateur portraits are dead. They look like passport photos blown up to the size of a billboard, drowned in fake filters. You are running an assembly line of visual boredom, tracking life at a flat, non-threatening angle that challenges absolutely no one. You have been brainwashed to believe a good picture must feel safe and perfectly balanced. You stand exactly where every tourist stands, cropping exactly where the smartphone algorithm tells you to crop. I am Mr. Simple. Today, we are going to dismantle your creative habits and expose the bankruptcy of standard composition advice. I am handing you 4 unyielding blueprints designed to destroy predictability and inject raw, cinematic friction into every single frame. If you want a gentle tutorial on how to make images look neat, click away now. But if you are ready to use your environment as a psychological weapon, pay attention. Let us dissect the baseline perspective, which I call the baseline trap. The vast majority of humans view the world from a standing height of roughly 5 to 6 feet. Your brain automatically filters out visual data at this height because it requires zero cognitive effort to process. Yet, the moment most photographers pull their machine out of their bag, they hold it straight up to their face. You are replicating the exact view everyone has seen millions of times. You are offering absolute conformity. To break this curse, you must enforce total physical displacement. Drop your body down until your knees are in the mud and your lens is literally skimming the pavement. When you look up at a subject from a radical low angle, the structural hierarchy instantly flips. A normal individual becomes an imposing monument. The background lines of buildings stretch upward into dramatic converging vectors. Conversely, you must master the absolute overhead perspective. Find a staircase or a balcony and shoot straight down at a 90-degree angle. From this position, the floor becomes your canvas, turning ordinary pavement lines and shadows into graphic elements that slice through the subject. If you are standing comfortably, your perspective is invisible. Force your body into challenging positions to force your viewer to actually see. Now, let us examine how you fail to interact with your surroundings. Most amateurs treat the background as an unfortunate mess that they need to blur out with an expensive lens. This is what leads to the stiffness of the traditional portrait. The subject feels completely separated from the space they inhabit. You need to transform your environment into a brutal geometric shredder. Look at the concrete pillars, iron railings, neon signs, and harsh shadows around you. Your job is to deliberately force your subject into a state of direct physical collision with these structures. Stop placing your model parallel to the lines of the scene. If there is a massive vertical pillar, position them so their body twists dramatically across that vertical axis. If a long diagonal shadow cuts across a wall, place the model's head directly at the point where that shadow intersects the frame. When human anatomy clashes with the rigid geometry of the built environment, it creates immediate visual friction. The eye is drawn to the point of conflict. You stop trying to make the background look pretty, and you start using it to cut your image into a dynamic puzzle. This brings us to the single greatest deception ever taught in visual arts, the rule of thirds. This ridiculous guideline has single-handedly destroyed more creative potential than any bad piece of gear. It is a formula designed to ensure that mediocre talents do not make catastrophic mistakes, but it guarantees they never produce anything memorable. If you are carefully aligning an eye with a digital intersection point, you are letting a basic grid rule think for you. We are replacing that outdated concept with the law of the chaos anchor. The human brain possesses an intense need to find balance in everything it looks at. When you give the audience a perfectly balanced photo, their brain checks the box, finds the order, and moves on. The visual journey is over in less than a second. You need to deny them that comfort. You must intentionally create severe visual instability. Take your subject and push them completely out of the safe zones. Cram them into the absolute bottom corner of the frame. When you present a composition that is completely unbalanced, the viewer's brain experiences a moment of psychological shock. The eye is forced to stay within the frame longer, frantically searching for the logic behind the layout. By anchoring your subject in the midst of chaotic imbalance, you ensure that the image lingers in their mind. Finally, we must confront the absolute fear of emptiness that plagues every single rookie photographer. I call this full-frame phobia. You feel an intense pressure to fill every single pixel with detail. You zoom in closer and closer until the subject's face takes up 80% of the space, completely suffocating the narrative. Your image loses its scale and its mystery. You must learn to weaponize the negative space vacuum. Actively look for environments that offer nothing but massive, overwhelming uniformity. A sheer concrete wall, a massive field of dead grass, or a deep cavern of profound shadow. Once you find this space, place your subject within it so that they take up less than 5% of the actual frame. The immense weight of the empty space acts like a psychological vacuum that crashes down on the tiny human element. It instantly tells a story of profound isolation and insignificance. It forces the audience to physically hunt for the subject within the frame. Their eye must travel across a vast desert of nothingness before they finally collide with the human soul you have hidden in the corner. That microsecond of visual searching completely transforms the experience. They had to work to find the story, and because they worked for it, the emotional impact is amplified 100 times over. Empty your frame to prove that you possess the absolute confidence to let the silence speak. Look at the device hanging around your neck right now. It is a highly advanced piece of engineering, but it possesses absolutely zero artistic intelligence. It only knows numbers, color charts, and focus tracking. If you continue to use it the way you were taught by standard tutorials, you will continue to get boring results. The Mr.Simple philosophy is about stripping away the safety nets. Real visual power is generated through conflict, asymmetry, and radical perspective shifts. Stop trying to make your images look like everyone else's definition of perfect. Start making choices that feel dangerous. The next time you pull your machine out of your bag, remember these laws. Break the baseline perspective and get down into the dirt. Use the architecture around you as a weapon to shred your composition. Throw the rulebook into the garbage and anchor your subjects in chaos. Have the courage to leave your frames completely empty. Stop recording what is in front of you. Start designing how the world is perceived. Keep your gear minimal. Keep your mind focused. Keep your setups clean. Keep your process simple. Go out there, reject the formulas, and go capture something real today. I am Mr. Simple. See you in the next video.